If you're a high achiever or you know you put a lot of pressure on yourself, this video is for you. We're talking about achievement anxiety and how to rewire it so it doesn't make you feel so anxious, overwhelmed, and stressed inside. Make sure you hit that little bell, hit subscribe, say hello below, and let's dive in. Hey, I am your confidence coach, Trish Blackwell. Thanks for hanging with me on my channel. I coach on how to reframe your thoughts, how to train your thoughts, because when you train your thoughts, you can change your life. And listen, let's start by defining what is achievement anxiety. And achievement anxiety is being overconscious about your performance. This might be in school, in an interview, it might be in your relationship, it might manifest in your athletic performance, it might be when you're about to go into a social situation, when you want to speak up and you're feeling anxious. It's when you have something very specific you want to achieve, and then you start overthinking it. You start getting in your own way. You start thinking, whoa, there's something wrong with me. And what's happening is we're walking forward with putting too much pressure on ourselves and an unreasonable timeline. And so I want to give you 5 ways today to overcome and rewrite the achievement anxiety that's making things harder than they need to be, because that's what happens. And a lot of entrepreneurs experience achievement anxiety. You get to that next level and then you start wondering if you can keep it up. Maybe you're experiencing achievement anxiety in your weight loss journey, and for every 5 pounds down, you start overthinking the next 5 pounds. Well, good news, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end, because we are going to get rid of that overwhelming thought that you're not doing enough, and I want to teach you how to trust yourself in the process. So let's talk about number 1. We've got to start by acknowledging that achievement anxiety shows up in your life. So let's call it what it is. I want you to spend a couple minutes after you watch this video and ask yourself, where is it that you feel that bubbly feeling come up? When is it that you feel the anxiety about performing? When is it that you hear yourself wondering, what if I can't do this? What if I'm not cut out for this? What if I mess up? What is it that makes you want to either really, really perfect it, or you just want to run away from it? You wish you could avoid it. You wish you get to the next day. That's when you know achievement anxiety is bubbling up. Or maybe you're making up 15 reasons why you can't start because you're not ready. So we have to start. We can only rewire and reframe and retrain something that we're calling out and acknowledging and bringing attention to. So that is your first step. Secondly, to rewrite your achievement, it's really important to know, what is it that you actually want? What are your big goals? So often we're so driven to perform, and we have such big egos attached to making sure we're really good at all things that we put undue pressure on ourselves to be perfect all the time. So we've got to know our true goals, know your big goals and what matters to you. Because if you know the goals that ultimately matter long-term, the little ones you can be more detached to. Achievement anxiety, whether it's for a test, an athletic adventure, a business, a growth thing, whatever, it's attached to, you're over an attachment to an outcome. I want to release you from the outcome of that specific thing and give you a permission to enjoy the process. And when you enjoy the process, because you know the long-term goal, every milestone you make is getting you to that bigger term goal. You don't need to be perfect here to get there. In fact, progression comes from being open to growth, to making mistakes, to learning as you go, not from being able to perfectly do every step along the way. That's just not being human, that's being a robot. And so the undue pressure you're putting on yourself to know it all, to do it all, to look good doing it, is just flawed thinking. So we've got to call out our flawed thinking and think back of the big goal of what you're working at getting. And if you know the big goal that matters, you have a willingness to say, you know what, I'm going to put it on the line here. I'm willing to take a risk. I'm willing to feel anxious and unprepared and do something anyways. Because remember, that anxious feeling, it's not a feeling or an indication that you're not ready. It's a confirmation that you care. Our third technique is to set arbitrary time goals. So sometimes to get yourself moving past achievement anxiety, we've got to just decide, all right, well, I'm going to set a shorter time frame than I think necessary on this so that there's no room for procrastination or overthinking. I love helping people take massive action quickly. And sometimes we have to take action by not allowing ourselves to think about all the what ifs, all of the reasons we're not ready, and we just go and do. So sometimes it's really important to overcome this performance anxiety. Just set an arbitrary time frame. You're studying for the big test. Well, decide that you only need 4 hours and you're going to structure it. And you know what's more valuable than staying up all night and cramming and being mentally exhausted? Getting a good amount of sleep. So set your time, your study goals with an arbitrary number. I don't know if 3 hours is the right number or 4 hours. And to be honest, it probably doesn't matter. Set an arbitrary time goal, stick to that, release the rest, and learn to trust yourself. There's a point in trust of all types. There's a risk involved. You gotta step forward and say, I know that I'm gonna trust myself and I will perform well. And achievement anxiety, you guys, comes when we can see that some of the little things that we're overwhelmed with really aren't big things. And when you can let go of the little things, you can really make progress towards the big things. Our third strategy to help you rewire this achievement anxiety is to compare those two time frames. So you have your new long-term goal about the achievements in your life that really matter to you. And I'm just gonna pause there for a moment because I wanna challenge you to ask yourself, what is it that I want? What is it that I want in this sport? What is it that I want in my career, in my business? What is it that I want? What will I define as success? And how can I make that on a time frame, but also how can I experience success today? And step number 4 is to compare timelines, to say this is the long-term goal. So this short arbitrary thing that I'm feeling achievement anxiety about, well, I'm willing to let it go. So we're playing a game comparing something really large long-term with something short-term and realizing that none of it really matters, and you can actually feel successful now rather than achieve success later. Success is not a finish line. It is not a state of being. That's why so many achievers deal with so much anxiety and pressure, because you reach success, you have achievement, and then the anxiety comes on that you have to keep it going. You have to keep performing. You have to keep proving. You have to keep striving. But none of that's true. That's just that's a misaligned definition of success. Success is a state of being. It is a state of living. It's a way in which you carry yourself. It's a detachment from the outcome. It's a state in which you flow all the time. And when you walk in a feeling of success, you activate more easily, more naturally, more success and more achievement. Hey, and finally, number 5, I want you to embrace a mentality that's been really helpful for myself and dozens of my students as well, and that is this. Engage the use of the phrase, so what? I need you to give permission to let go of all the pressure. What if I get a C? Okay, so what? What if I go on Facebook Live and make an idiot of myself? So what? Okay. What if I try this and it doesn't work out? People laugh at me. And? So what? Talk back to yourself, and what would happen? Well, and what would happen? And what would happen? Give yourself permission to face your fear and speak back to the fear. Because if you're gonna build a dream life, it cannot be built on fear. It needs to be built from a place of personal power and from faith. And when we do that, we are stepping in forward and saying no to the fear. Achievement anxiety is so pressure-based. It is based in fear of lack. What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not doing enough? What if I'm inadequate? And that is all fear-based. So we're gonna speak back to the fear and know that we don't build lives of impact, lives of success, careers or businesses that change the world built on fear. You can't build anything worth telling a story about if it's built on fear. So we gotta talk back to the fear, and one of the most effective ways to talk back to the fear is to say, so what? And hey, and I'm willing to go forward anyways. So I hope that you are encouraged today to let it go all in, talk back to the fear, identify as an achiever. But it's not based on what you do, it's based on who you already are. It's not based on what you can achieve and what you have achieved or what you will, but the fact that you know you're capable. You can feel successful now. And if you walk into the room as a success already, well then the pressure to be perfect on that performance dissipates. You already have the end experience, and it's scientifically proven that you actually end up doing better when you take the pressure off. This is the work I love to do with you. I hope this is encouraging to you. Comment below and let me know what was the biggest aha, what your biggest takeaway was. And hey, I want to connect deeper. I want to help you take this work even deeper in a way that changes the neural pathways of your brain so that you don't just hear what I'm talking and coaching you on, but we implement it in a substantial way. And that's the work we do in the College of Confidence. You can join the College of Confidence at collegeofconfidence.com. If you're still new to learning how to train your thoughts, I have a free resource for you. It is how to have more confidence. So it is a webinar, a free class that I have. I will link it in the comments below for you, but you can go to trishblackwell.com/free class and get your seat there. I want to teach you how to have more confidence so you can stop caring what people think, stop putting the pressure on yourself, and start trusting yourself. Because you're an achiever, you have so much potential within you. It's time to let it bloom. Let it bloom, weed out the weedy thoughts that are keeping you stuck. And that is on you. It's our responsibility to nurture the garden of our lives. Let the flowers bloom, get rid of the weeds, and that all happens here in our thoughts. Thanks for hanging with me here on my YouTube channel. Say hello below. It really encourages me to hear from you, and I'll see you on the next video.